Okay, hey, I'm back after being back. Because I just started recording, but I was like facing over there, and the way I'm doing these dumb, really short videos, it just takes whatever I'm looking at when I start and makes that the thumbnail, and I wanted the DRM to be the actual thumbnail. So, right now, I just uploaded a video, it's uploading, so I am pretty literally right back, because it's uploading right now, and by the time I upload this, it will be like, I guess about how long this video is apart from the other one. The last video, the one I just posted, was a video about parts that I found, which are strewn about everywhere now. And this bike, if you want to know about that, you can watch that. I also helped my friend Sam with his Weedwhacker, which, his Weedwhacker bike project, which I was sort of part of, and now I'm going to use the Weedwhacker. I'm still going to use it, but my Weedwhacker over there, but maybe I'll put it on the DRM or something. I'm not putting it right on a bike. Yeah, I've been helping him and Matthew out with that, so that's the thing. And so I helped them more today. But sort of the goal today is to get more parts for the DRM. And now that I have those more parts, and I said earlier I was going to think about the steering, now that I have these more parts, I can reveal a sudden change that I kind of predictably made, because I always make crazy changes. It's a change that I made like a couple minutes after I uploaded the video and said, I'm going to work on the steering. Basically, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go sit down, listen to weird music, and think about it. Oh, the lag. So I sat down, phone plugged into the speakers, had my phone on the desk, I'm scrolling through, looking at different steering systems, and like, man, this is hard. Wouldn't it be easy if it was just like the other trike that I was making, where the front wheel is attached? Or I mean, where it's just the front wheel of the bike, and I'm like, and then there's the whole, oh, but wait, then I'd have to figure out how to hook up some power system to it. But then I remembered seeing these recumbents, which, I don't know, maybe you've looked at this before. If you look up no-load recumbent online, you'll find that some people will take the front wheel of the bike, so they have the front wheel, and they'll rip that away, and they'll take the back end of the bike. So if we come over here, cut that off, so you just have the drivetrain in the back, and I'll take that and I'll mount the fork to the outside of the wheel here, and then they'll just attach the seat post up onto the usually just up to the handlebars of the bike. So you pedal in front of you then. Oh, and then the seat drops down inside of this little angle thing that I'm pointing out, like this groove. You put a seat in that groove, and bam, you got yourself a recumbent. I thought, okay, I can find, if I have a second bike, or if I have a bike that I can cut apart, or that's already cut apart, I can just take all that, and I can make a recumbent, and then I can just mount, I can mount that to the front of a bike, and then I can mount the bike, like this bike is, right onto the DRM, except minus the pedals being there. Nothing would be back here, except the seat. How I would actually mount it, or how I'm going to mount it, I'm going to unscrew this pipe, and I'm going to shoot it through here, and it's actually not going to support anything. That's just to get it down a little lower. I have a long bolt. I don't know where I put it. It's over there, I think, inside of the homeless shelter. I can drill a hole through here, and then it'll just, I think this is how I'll do it. I might also just find a quick release, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's going to bolt, whoa, yeah, maybe I'll do a quick release, that could be easier. I'll bolt it right onto here, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's how I'm going to do it. So you just have to take this off. Oh, you can't see my hand. Take this off, and then make sure this goes inside of it, and then you bolt it on in the back. And then I'll make a bolt similar to how I was going to bolt it originally in the front, which you don't know. You don't even know what I was doing last. There's like an entire version of the DRM that I've recorded all of. And this happened since that video that I made where there's a submission for like some contest. Yeah, I submitted basically this back of the cart for a competition, and it was supposed to attach to a bike. That didn't work out. Yeah, I'll explain this. That didn't work out. So then I decided to take the cart, and I was gonna put a wheel on the front and do a trike like I have here. And then I'm like, oh no, that's gonna be too hard. So then I had the idea to flip it around. And I was gonna take the spinny thing. Yeah, that's what it's called. I was gonna take the caster from the third and fourth wheel I had, and it's gonna mount right inside, right where the cross was, basically. And your fork would mount onto there, and then I link that up to the I link it up to there. That's the steering system I was talking about earlier. I don't even know why I mentioned that. I never even explained how the steering was supposed to work. Sorry for that confusion. Yeah, that's basically how it would work. Picture that the two seat stays in the back, if that's the fork, because it's right about where the fork could mount. You just have your the steering linkage going from between the wheels somehow, which I didn't really have figured out. And so you have your fork there. Yes. And then right about here where you have the where you'd have the mount for the whatchamacallit, the kickstand, it was going to mount on back here at the mounting system that I used, and it would be adjustable. And it was a pretty good idea, but I noticed a couple problems. A, it's ugly. B, the way that I thought of that's different. You still get all that free space back there, or up there as it was in the older design. I think it was ugly, because it kind of just looked like the body sitting on top of these two little wheels, and that'd look kind of weird. Well, it'd look like that on the front. I'd rather it look like that on the back, I think. Both are about 8 feet, which is actually perfect, and I never noticed that until I measured it, but I think it's actually a little bit longer having it like this, surprisingly. Well, and anyway, on top of all that, there's less, you don't have to buy more casters. There's just less weight because you don't have all the steering linkage. It's less stuff to make, it's less stuff to go wrong and break. And if I do the method where I make the front wheel drive, oh, my hand is in the way. Hi, hand. If I make it front wheel drive, that should be less prone to mechanically failing than having the steering linkage. I think that'd be less reliable. So yeah, everything's changed again. Still the same cart though. Still basically all the same mounting stuff. Just a little bit cleaner, I think. And I think it will look pretty nice. It will sort of almost look like like the frame itself will look like a massive big wheels or a drift trike or something. But I like that. That's okay. I'm a big wheels kid. Oh shoot, I've already been talking for 8 minutes. Wow. Okay. That's the design, that's what we're doing. And that's all I really have to do is prep. This isn't the bike I'm using, by the way. This bike, I have another trike that I'm working on with it. And I was going to keep working on it, but I decided that the DRM was more important. So that's what's getting all the attention right now. Plus, it hadn't gotten attention for a while. I don't know why I'm walking over here. I like pacing around. Yes, that bike, it's part of a different trike thing that I am making, which I feel like I've already talked about in a video, but honestly, I don't know if I ever posted that video, or if it was today or some other time. I don't know. And that means that I have a couple bikes around here that I can put up front. And if you didn't just watch the video I've just uploaded, this free bike right here, the fork is all damaged. That's why it was free. I got it from the bike shop for free. They gave it to me. So my plan was that I was going to saw the front of it off. And then it has a pretty nice transmission in the back. It just needs a wheel and a derailleur. And luckily I got a free derailleur. So I was thinking that I'm going to do that, and I still probably might. The only thing is that it's also a nice bike. Well, it's like low-end, it's low-end bike shop bike, but I think that that's still better than medium / maybe high-end department store bike. Well, that one. That's like low-end department store bike. I think right now I'll just share this because I honestly don't know. I was thinking I'll just take all this off on the back because this bike is pretty junky. There's nothing really that great about it. So I was thinking I was going to strip down the frame and then put the frame on here, mount the frame up. And then I was thinking that since I have some okay forks that are threadless, I could, yeah, I have some okay threadless forks. I could put that on the front of there. And they have suspension too. I can mount that up to the front and maybe use like the headset from here and the handlebars, which are nice. But, I don't really know yet. Oh, and then cut the back out of here and use that for the transmission. Then I also thought, well, I could cut that bike, the transmission out, and then just replace all the components with the ones from here. Of course, I don't think there are any posts for... Yeah, I'd have to use the junky caliper brakes and stuff. Or figure out how to use those on there. But then I have to get a fork for that one too. Basically, I mean, I have the original fork for that. I could use that. Basically, right now, I'm just down to figuring out what I'm going to do because I have a bunch of... I don't even know how many bikes I have. I had like 8 at one point. I think I might have 10 now because I got a free bike at the beach, which I converted to a beach cruiser bike. And then I just got that one. So yeah, basically what I'm down to right now is juggling all my bikes around and finding the perfect 2 that I can cut up / not cut up and put on the front of the DRM. And then basically it's done. I mean, once I have the bike part working, there's a little bit of work that has to be done to get the mounting ready, but that's pretty straightforward. And the only other problems that I can see are that those are still caster wheels in the back. Something I could either go to Harbor Freight and just get some solid wheels, which that's a perfectly good option. I could also find a way to sort of brace them in place. I don't really know what I want to do yet with that. I mean, I guess if I don't use them as casters, I might as well try to find... Or, if I don't use them on this, I might as well try to find some other use. I don't know what it'd be, though. So... Oh, and it might also need... If you can sort of see how I want to mount it on, I might also need a little bit more reinforcement so the bike doesn't just flop over. I don't know how strong it'll be. I have some ideas on how I can expand it, because I'm thinking that, well, in the old design I didn't really know where I was going to put seating, but on this one, you got your seat in the middle. I'm thinking I'll have passenger seat going out each end. Maybe I'll even just make one big passenger seat that sort of works with the seat post a little to hold it in place, but then it also mounts to the corners, so it holds everything in place. And I could even... Oh, well, the pedals are worthless. You just have passenger seats. I can also fit some passengers back there. Maybe even like 3 across. Yeah, because we at my family... I haven't posted a video in a really long time. Did the BMW even crash the last time I posted a video? Probably not. Yeah, that BMW you might have seen in the background in the videos, it crashed. It's dead. I think that might be a project, because last summer I sort of took it apart. I have to put it back together again. But we have a RAV4 now, my family. And I measured the seat in the back because I realized that when I had 3 people in it, it was really squished. Unlike the BMW, it was 4 feet wide, so this is like RAV4 with seating, I guess. I can probably get 3 people in it, which would be like 6 people total, which is probably way too much for it to handle. Just why it needs like an electric motor or something. Also, it can extend a little bit out in the back. Maybe add some more seat storage. I don't know. I don't completely know. And I am thinking too that safety-wise, the other way I had it, you have the entire frame in front of you, which provides a little bit more cushioning in the event of an accident. Because I have to think about safety. It still has to be safe. This way, your feet are jammed out actually a little bit in front of the bike, which I felt was unsafe. So I am thinking maybe some sort of roll cage-like thing, a safety cage, / frame that holds the body up. That might be in place too. And then I can shape out the body, which I still don't know what I'm going to make it out of. I mean, the frame itself is already expensive enough, getting all this together, but then I have to get the body and all the other stuff, all the other little doodads are pretty cheap. Not really cheap, but pretty cheap. But hey, look, it's still way cheaper than any other thing like it that exists already. I mean, it's not going to run me any more than $300 to $500, and that's still a little bit more than I want it to be, but you can barely even get like a good electric bike for $1,000. I mean, you can, right? I think so. I don't know. Yeah, I do know. I've looked before. You can, that's a pretty good starting price, I think. Maybe closer to 500 for a cheaper one. But you got the whole package here. Okay, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm gonna not go to bed. Okay, I probably am gonna go to bed. I'm going to not work on this more. And then tomorrow, in addition to the big update videos I wanted to post, and maybe unexpected things that happen, which could involve like helping out friends again some more, or working on the shed, which I think might get, I didn't even explain this. The shed outside, that's going to become my new workshop. My dad has agreed to help me fix it, so, because he actually knows how to use wood, I'm a metal person. So he's going to show me the way, and that's such an old meme. I'm sorry, I apologize. He's going to show me how to restore wood and stuff and make sheds better, which, in perspective real quick, the space that I have to work with right now, it's about the space I have to work with in the shed. I mean, the room's, the shed's 8 by 12 feet, the room's like 12 by 12 feet, I think, maybe, or I think it might be like 8 by 11 feet. But then there's a couple feet of stuff on either side that kind of just blocks it off, so, oh, and then there's the workbench, which, actually, we might move to the shed, I'm not sure, or I might get another one. So that's going to be pretty nice. I'll have a lot more workspace to work with. Well, not more, but more organized workspace of my own. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed, wake up tomorrow, that sort of stuff might happen, but hopefully I'll be able to post an update video where I get the bikes sorted out, what I'm going to do with them, and maybe I'll even start to get some stuff attached. Okay, say goodnight to the bikes. And you know what, I'm just going to walk up the stairs and then stop recording. I feel like it. And then I can show off the trike too. This video is way too long. This is